Ever since Fortnite released over 2,000 days ago, there have been so many massive mysteries that remained unsolved until today where we finally got the answers. But first, this is Guff. He's a bird, and his entire life he's watched other birds fly around the Fortnite island, but has never actually been able to fly for himself. If you hit the thumbs up button on the count of 3, Guff will finally get to fly. 3, 2, 1. Hey, it worked. Enjoy flying around the island, Guff. Fortnite itself is a very complex game with many deep hidden secrets, ranging from things like mysterious hatches in the woods, a top secret organization known as the government, and even the truth about Geno will all be revealed here in this video. But first, look how close we are to 4.36 million subscribers. We couldn't be any closer. It would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and be my 4,360,000 subscriber. Last video, I asked you guys to name this emote, and there's a bunch of people on the screen right now who got it right. But this video, we have a new emote. If you know the name of this, make sure to leave it down below in the comments. But ladies and gentlemen, we've wasted too much time. Some of the biggest mysteries in all of Fortnite has been solved. Let's get into it. Now, before we solve the mystery that Fortnite doesn't want us to know about, first things first, one of the biggest mysteries about the Fortnite storyline has been solved. May actually be the longest running mystery ever, since we need to rewind the clocks all the way back to Fortnite Chapter 1, literally right when Fortnite first released. The Imagined Order, as well as the 7, didn't even exist in the storyline yet. Because keep in mind, the Visitor was the first member of the 7 to arrive, and he came in Chapter 1, Season 4, when the meteor that was in the sky crash-landed onto the ground. But before the meteor crashed, you may remember in Season 3 when we were able to see it off in the distance in the sky, a mysterious organization actually started setting up a bunch of telescopes to look at it through. And all of these were set up by a mysterious organization known as the government, which is one of the least talked about but also most important factions in all of Fortnite. But first, today's video was sponsored by Loot Boy, which is a free app everyone can download right now by clicking the link in the description. Inside the Loot Boy app, you can collect loot coins to open free loot packs. On top of that, they have new comics releasing every week, as well as a new diamond feature that allows you to open premium packs for totally free. As you can see, I use my diamonds to open up a premium pack. If you don't have enough diamonds, you can also buy them, and inside of it was literally 2,800 V-Bucks. If you don't get any V-Bucks out of your first pack, don't worry, because with every single bundle of 10 purchase, you will guaranteed get some V-Bucks, and you even have a chance to earn any of these awesome rewards you see on your screen, and even a chance at getting a Loot Boy skin token that you can use in the Battle Royale skin vault, which is an exchange market where Loot Boy skin tokens can be exchanged for actual Fortnite skins. Loot Boy and I have teamed up to do a 13,500 V-Buck giveaway. Sign up on Loot Boy's website using the link in the description and comment your username down below. Just make sure you do so before Sunday at midnight. Loot Boy also has a feature known as Chat Radar, where you can meet new friends to game with. They even have the Diamond Jackpot, where for each pack you open, 1 diamond is added to the jackpot. The jackpot starts at 10,000 diamonds, and after 1 week, the entire jackpot will be paid to a user. Check out the link to Loot Boy in the video description and use the code on the screen to sign up. Loot Boy will give you a community pack with diamonds, loot coins, and more. Thank you so much to Loot Boy for sponsoring this video. And at first, the government's main purpose was to investigate strange sightings on the island, but later on, they had more responsibilities because they were the ones responsible setting up the entire base located at Dusty Divot, or even the people responsible for manning the digging operations that ended up discovering the vault at the center of Loot Lake in Chapter 1, and obviously ended up leading to the Unvaulted event, as well as Launch the Volcano. That ended up destroying Tilted Towers. In Chapter 1, Season 9 is where we start to see the government's involvement really start to ramp up, because you know how Tilted Towers was fully destroyed and rebuilt into Neo-Tilted. The government themselves was actually fully responsible for that, as well as transforming the volcano into the pressure plant point of interest, where we then got introduced to the first 2 members of the government, one being the hazard agent and the other being the toxic trooper who actually worked in the pressure plant. Whereas we know the Singularity began constructing the mecha robot, and it's even believed that the government played a major part in the construction as well. Things get even crazier though when you fast forward to Chapter 2, Season 7. Fortnite and Epic Games introduced something into the storyline known as the Hot Saucers Alien Podcast, where you were actually able to hear the government mention,
"Someone is watching us. Maybe be the government?
The few people who know about the government actually theorize that it may be the imagined order, but either way, it's always super cool whenever you discover a new Fortnite storyline. And don't worry, we're just about to solve the biggest mystery ever. But first, once again, we need to rewind the clock to the very OG days of Fortnite, where one of the first storylines we ever had, even before the government, had to do with these mysterious gnomes. In the very first chapter and first season of Fortnite, you were able to find a bunch of them scattered across the island with no real rhyme or reason. And there was even an Easter egg where if you built a brick wall, there was a chance of a random gnome spawning in it. But then fast forward about 2 years for the release of Fortnite Chapter 2, and Epic Games decided to give the gnomes their very own storyline, not only giving us a bunch of quests to complete, but also waged war on a completely new faction made up of nothing but teddy bears. And this was super funny because you were able to see both factions lined up across from each other, literally ready to start an all-out war. The good news is though, in the next season that released, Chapter 2 Season 3, it appeared that the war was over and they formed a truce as you could see them all sitting at a table together. Then in Chapter 2 Season 4, at a new point of interest known as Apres Ski, gnomes all met up where apparently one gnome was giving a speech, and this little scene Epic Games has set up was actually referencing or an Easter egg about a TED Talk, and apparently the whole point of this speech was so they could promote the brand new Slurp Juice. At some point during the speech, he must have told the gnomes to go and set up a bunch of booby-trapped Slurp Juice containers, because we actually had to disarm those bombs as a quest, which was pretty interesting, but apparently that didn't go as planned, because after we completed them, this mysterious little gnome memorial popped up on the island, meaning at least one gnome was extremely harmed. Following this, the gnomes were relocated to the sheriff's office. Each and every single one of them were literally trapped and locked inside of a prison cell, which kinda seems fitting after them setting up a bunch of bombs across the island. But after all of this, there still remains one single gnome memorial that you're still able to find on the Chapter 4 map. And don't worry, coming up next is the biggest mystery ever. But first, I remember when I first started playing Fortnite, one of the first point of interest I dropped at was actually Wailing Woods. Maybe it was named Weeping Woods at the time. I honestly don't really remember. Anyway, located here was not only a super secret base set up by the government, which we mentioned earlier, but also a mysterious hatch located all by itself in the middle of a bunch of trees that obviously immediately grabbed all of our attention. Once we noticed it, we were all determined to find out what was inside, but we discovered a glitch involving the Portafort item, where if you threw it at the base of the hatch, it would actually glitch open. Fortunately, this was incredibly underwhelming and didn't answer any of our questions, as it basically just revealed some concrete walls and a dirt ground. But our hopes were still high because we knew there was an upcoming live event and expected to see the hatch open then. That never ended up happening, and we never ever saw the hatch opened, mentioned, or used for the rest of Chapter 1. Fast forward to Fortnite Chapter 2, we received an entirely new island, and once again, we were able to find more of these mysterious hatches laid out across the map, making us even more desperate than ever to find out their true purpose. Then it finally happened. After 4 years since we first laid our eyes on the very first hatch, we finally got the answer, and it came during the end of Chapter 2 live event. In one of the cutscenes, you're actually able to see the scientist using his laser devices to melt open one of the hatches. They then enter the hatch, and it gives them access to the bridge, which is essentially the area in between the Chapter 1 and the Chapter 2 island. It's crazy to think that Epic Games had this all planned out all the way back in Chapter 1 when they first added the hatch, just for them to come into play over 4 years later when we're going into Chapter 3. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the biggest mystery ever. It actually has to do with two of the most important characters in Fortnite, one being Geno and the other being the Origin. By now, we all know that the Origin is a member of the Seven, who's personally my favorite faction on the island. Before he joined the Seven, he was actually a member of the Last Reality and went by the name the Cube King, before eventually leaving and running away due to the dark power of the cubes. Essentially, this means the person that we now know as a hero in the storyline used to be the exact opposite, working alongside the Cube Queen, and Geno himself had a very similar story arc. He started out as what we all thought was an evil villain with the goal of ending all reality. We later learned that just isn't the case, and his new updated mission is to protect and perfect every reality. And here's where things get crazy. So we all know that Geno made a bet with his peers that he's able to create the first looper to successfully escape the loop, but after his first attempt was a fail, he had to create stronger versions of the snapshots or loopers to stand a better chance at victory, which I personally believe was not only responsible for creating the Ageless character, which as we all know is essentially a snapshot of Geno himself, was also likely responsible for creating the Origin, because after all, his character description reads his reality lives on, once again hinting that the Origin himself is actually a snapshot. On top of that, the word Geno can actually be translated to literally mean origin. So what do you think? Are Geno and the origin actually the same person, just different snapshots from different realities? As soon as we have the answers, I'm gonna make sure to let all of you guys know by making a tweet over my Twitter account at HomelyGamesYT. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.